You know we be with it, we off in the hood like some wizards. Nobody ever gave us anything. Meant something from nothing, just like magicians. Gotta relearn everything. Just to remember that I was forgetting. Just to remember that we had a vision. Did it all, don't know how I did it. Time to go start season to go and you know those crystal truths. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Start season to go and you know those crystal truths. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we on the mission. Start season to go and you know those crystal truths. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Start season to go and you know those crystal truths. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we on the mission. Off on the mission, you know how it goes. Off in the system, they turn up their nose. They took all the soil, but they didn't know. Through the concrete, you see the roads. Eyes ain't open, don't mean I ain't woke. Ain't got no cash, don't mean that I'm broke.
Welcome souls, welcome in beautiful people to the raw experience, the law of one, your experience of being more of your authentic selves right now in this very moment, right now. You get to sit down and tap in to a now moment, to see yourselves in every word that Ra shares. There's a little bit of you in the wholeness of all of the universe. And not even a little bit of you, a bit of you, because you are wholeness. You are part of growth and expansion. You're a part of this journey. You were part of it well over 12,000 years ago when Ra first walked this earth plane. You were a thought even then. You may not have manifested until now, but you were a thought. I almost stumbled over that word because I think the divine wanted to use a different word. You were part of the experience, part of the growth, part of the shift, part of the evolution. So welcome to the evolution. Over to you, Marcus. Let's get it going.
Grand day, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Ascending Beyond Limitations, the Raw Material. I'm Marcus Christolight, co-host with Sandy M. I gotta say, I'm grateful to be with you guys tonight. I did miss you guys last week on our Wednesday episode, and I have something for us out of the introduction to Tao. Tao is an ancient Chinese way of life, so to say, based off of philosophy of the source being all that is and all that ever could be, unfathomable and untangible. And with that, we learn about ways of receiving more and perceiving more of this Tao in our everyday life. And I'll just read a little bit. What is receiving Tao? And this is also something that I've experienced about 3 different times here in Ohio. I was led through spirit, no advertisements, to this Tao temple, and I was able to receive Tao, and it was a beautiful spiritual blessing ceremony. And with that, I've also held space for 2 other ceremonies there. So what is Tao? When we look around the world, we admire the miracles and wonders of nature. Countless things happen and move simultaneously every second, and yet in order and in harmony. So do our bodies. Countless biochemical reactions and physical functions occur concurrently within our bodies. Without our learning and thinking, thousands of activities happen within us. These are the actions and extension of Tao. Tao functions naturally and automatically without the need for our intention to be involved. This is the effect of Tao within us. Tao is not only in control of the universe and nature, but also in charge of every human being and his or her own actions. In other words, it is the same source that governs us as well as everything else. Tao is invisible. It is intangible. But it has been working out its magic before day one. Thereafter, languages, cultures, religions, scriptures, literature, and civilization were developed. They all originate from Tao, functioning within us. People don't realize it is Tao that has been residing. They have us use soul to represent the confusing and yet irrefutable being, because it is eternal and intangible. We also call it true self. This true self is the most abundant, brilliant, and imperishable being. Let's take a look at our tangible body and see if it can be the true self. We know the pictures taken throughout one's life show different faces and expressions. We recognize people by face, but our looks change and are not permanent. The handicapped with impaired arms or legs can also lead a complete life. One with a transplanted animal heart is still a human being. Even our brain cells keep decreasing and changing every second from the moment we were born. Therefore, the physical body is the only interim resonance of the true self. Thou, it seems so real, solid, and alive. It turns into dust eventually. We call it the false self, or transient nature. By recognizing the difference between the true self and the false self, we understand the reason and importance for us to receive Tao. Fortunately, we are given the opportunity of receiving Tao and learning the three treasures. The three treasures are straightforward yet profound. The meaning and details of them will be illustrated through the ceremony of receiving Tao. Here, we only discuss two. And that is where we'll leave off, from the introduction to Tao, ancient Chinese philosophy and blessing of source universal oneness connection. I gotta say, such a beautiful culture and ceremony that I've been a part of in my journey, and I'm grateful to be able to share that with you guys. So thank you guys for that moment. Thank you, Sandy, for being a co-host of this beautiful space that we are going to be a part of tonight. And with that, before we get it started and we slide into episode 76, let's take a flashback to episode 75.
Connect with each other. Marcus didn't say, Sandy, I'm doing the heart chakra. I'm going to do all the colors. We just showed up this way. The headband, the tea, and the label. It's all about your heart chakra. Your heart connects you to all. But your heart, this particular segment of the movie was, I knew it was for me. I knew it was a confirmation that I was on the right path with the right lessons or the right teachings or the right growth and expansion to share with you. You are a powerful being.
I'm going to do it one more time. Deep breath into the heart. And exhale out of the mouth. Whew. Thank you for unfurling your heart with us tonight, Sandy.
To rephrase it, because you think that a fool is just being foolish. Sometimes being foolish is walking in your moments of faith about yourself, about your situations, about your circumstances. You grow and you learn that way.
Of negative agenda is called the Black Sun Program. What is the Black Sun Program? Well, let's take a look. The Black Sun Draconian Agenda. Ancient roots manipulating draconian reptoids on Earth. Masterminds of Council of Nicaea, Church of Rome, Cathar Essene Crusaders, the Human Holocaust. That's very interesting. 10 DNA strand. They're running a reversal life current, which they use in the Iran Gate to feed off. The Iran Gate is the Golden Eagle Gate. So it's one of the gateways of our dimensions.
The reports of how people would have interacted with the mantis beings comes through these people on board a spacecraft with gray aliens, short gray aliens, seeming to do a bulk of the work, where the mantis type beings are the superiors, the bosses.
They cleared all of the 4D races. They cleared off all of draconians.
And with that, over to you in the present.
In the now moment, in this present moment. So, number one, guys, for some reason, my other page is not showing my Soulawakening going live on Instagram, but it is live. So I just can't see you for whatever reason that is. I have to go and look. I know I'm following myself, but who knows what's going on?
Is it really live?
Who knows? Is it live? Because it says when I go to look, it says live, but maybe it's giving me a false bit of information. It's not live. Hold on.
You could try sending me a new link if you want. No worries.
Oh no, let's just go with what we got going on. All right. You know,
Sounds
they can see it in replay. Right? I did send a few people, you know, the invitation. So if they accept the invitation to come on to my YouTube, they can. They are more than welcome. But then the divine said, don't worry about that. I need you to look something up. So there's a dedication in the book, The Divine Design. It's a dedication. And yes, you could say, oh, it's for that book. It's not for the book of Ra. I understand. But the divine wants me to read it to you. She writes, I dedicate this book to all the courageous humans navigating their miraculous evolution. Thank you for your courage, your commitment, your compassion to take one step in front of the other and lead humanity into a new world. This is the beings that also channeled through her to get this book written. This is what they say to you. And the divine, through Ra, wants you to know this is your shifting and your evolution. This is what you were called for. Every one of us has been called to experience a journey. Every one of us has been called to experience life, even if we're unconscious of it, even if we're just living day to day. Who are we to judge someone else for living their life the way they want to live it? Maybe they don't want to be aware of it. Maybe they did wake up, and maybe that knowledge was too much for them and they went back to sleep. And the divine says that's okay. Thank you very much for your courageousness to take on this incarnation. The according to Ra, according to all the channelers, a call went out from Earth consciousness from every corner of the galaxies as we know them, every corner of the cosmos, saying, come play with me. And they came. They said, yes, we want to do it. And through all of that time, through thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, here you are. An emanation of the divine in human form. And you came to be exactly you. No right, no wrong, no good, no bad. But you were given the ability to see the good and bad in things so you could take a journey. It's your personal preferences for you, not to spew them onto others, but to dive into it. Marcus and I were talking, and I told Marcus, I said, some people are learning from him, and when they're going down his rabbit hole, there's at a point where they can't come back up the same way they went down. They have to keep going until they learn more, until they grow, until they expand, until they shine and shimmer, until they shift and evolve. Doesn't mean that they're going to learn everything in their about their life at that point. I had a friend ask me, Sandy, do you think you're going to know everything you need to know by the time you give up this body? I had to tell him this morning, no. Ra is dropping in little cubes of information and knowledge because they've already did it. They've already ascended and became 6 density beings in consciousness. And they want us to succeed as much as you do in whatever your life is. So here's the thing. The divine is dedicating to you and thanking you for being courageous humans navigating this miraculous evolution. No matter how you're navigating it, through all the wrongs, through all the rights, through all the sadness, through all the joy. And that's why we're here today, to help you navigate, to yield ourselves to the divine and to Ra, and the experience and miraculousness of evolution. That's why we're here. So if you're ready, let's get this party started. Right? The questioner says, well, then how does 5th density entity go about working from the very start of being alerted to the fact that we exist? I am Ra. The entity becomes aware of power. This power has the capacity of energizing those which may be available for harvest. Harvest means that you're just growing and expanding and moving into the next version of you. Some people think it's harvest. It's like, okay, I've did enough experience and they're plucking me out. That could be a possibility too, as well. This entity is desirous of disabling this power source. It sends its legions, temptation are offered. They are ignored or rejected. The power of source persists and indeed improves in its inner connection with harmony and love of service. The entity, you determine that it must need, that its needs attempt the disabling itself by means of projection to enter the vicinity of this power source. Other entities' powers can't enter you or surround you unless you give them permission. And that goes, if you're fearing them, that's their permission. If you believe that they can harm you, that's their permission. If you believe they can do you a disservice, that's their permission. Right? They can also do this by means of projection when it enters the vicinity of the power source. It accesses the situation. It can become your situation. It can become the enemy that you think you have. It's bound by the first distortion, but may not take advantage of any free will distortion. It cannot take advantage of you if you know your free will charter. If you know your free will declaration, it knows you have free will as well. It knows about power. It knows how it was created in third density. It also knows that energy has never been created, nor can it be destroyed. It knows. And again, the Orion group is part of this questioner's thinking. Okay? The free will, pre-incarnative distortions of the instrument that's being used with regards to the physical vehicle seems the most promising target. Remember, because they were talking about the entity or being dualistic. It wants to serve, but in certain areas it's scared to serve. Therefore, it builds up sickness in the body, discomfort in the body, not sickness. Right? Any distortion away from service to others is also appropriate. And what Ra is saying, you can also be service to self while you're being service to others. There's a balance. You have to decide how far in service to self you're in. When the instrument leaves its physical vehicle, it does so freely. Thus, the misplacement of body, mind, spirit complex of the instrument would not be a violation of its free will to follow the entity freely. This is the process. When you're being channeled and you're channeling, you have to know your free will. The channeler or the entity that's being channeled knows exactly what it can and can't do, or what it should and shouldn't do. If it's hoping to misalign or have you be misaligned in its intent, it's hoping that you don't know. And that includes astral plane or traveling in your sleep. And if you don't know how to use it, don't use it. If you don't know where you're going when you leave your body, what you're entertaining, don't go. Make sure you know and you're spiritually educated in the tools that you're using. Ra is saying these entities know it too. They didn't want to play like you played. You came into a physical body. You came into a physical body to play on earth plane. They decided that they wanted service to self only, and they knew if they came back into a physical body after being in one, that they would be seen more easily. So they decided to cheat. And they can only cheat with bodies, beings, us, that don't know the rules of the game. Over to you, Marcus.
Shoo. Boy,
Right?
you know, I've been having such deep contemplation about free will lately, and just sitting in the observation that I am a free will being, and just thinking about how I use that free will daily. And then I'm just thinking about like all of these, these books, these lives, all these different things that have just been reiterating these same truths over and over about what we are in and what we are a part of in this existence. And I've had such deep thoughts of like, like, how wondrous is it that we can have all of these different bodily forms and structures, and they stay what they are for a period of moments, and different degrees of it too, various different conscious degrees. Are we talking about the human being, where the human being is able to literally wake up, choose what it wants to eat every day, choose what it does with its energy, have the same body that it stays with for a period, and then it goes through all these different experiences that are basically inescapable from the body, and even like forming an identity in some sort. It's just like, wow, that's the depth of what we're in. That's incredible. And it really is like a avatar video game, like a Sims character in a Sims video game. And man, the holographic, the video game thing, simulation theory, it just like all starts to kind of make sense in a way when you think about all of it. So there's something I wanted to share before I pass it back over. And this is a few minute 12-dimensional shield building meditation. And what this meditation is, it helps you basically declare and receive your declaration of your sovereign free will energy in this third dimensional, multi-dimensional universe. So if you feel called and you're open, just allow yourself to receive. This will just be a few minute video, guided meditation to help activate your 12-dimensional crystal shield of light. And it's also beneficial for relaxation, helping with the nervous system, helping with any inflammation or tension, as well as bringing a nice calm mind at ease into your night. So get comfortable, enjoy, and we'll be back.
The 12-dimensional shield building technique. My declaration of intention is to serve my source. I commit to serve my highest power fully, completely, and totally. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. Prepare for meditation. Visualize and feel your connection. Imagine a platinum six-pointed star, the Star of David, in the center of your brain. As you move that six-pointed star, your Merkaba star, down the center of your body, see it passing through each chakra and releasing from in between your legs. Send your six-pointed star to the center of the earth, to the Earth Star. As you connect your star with the Earth Star, feel unconditional love and unity for all. As you connect to the 12th dimensional platinum light, feel that light building momentum through your entire body. As you connect and fill up with the platinum energy, see your six-pointed star returning back to you, and let it stop at a position 12 inches beneath your feet. As you focus on your six-pointed star, it will start to spin. As it spins, it will build momentum and create a platform of platinum silver light. This is your 12th dimensional shield. As the shield strengthens, it will build an upward movement of a pillar of platinum white light. Allow that pillar of light to build to a position about 3.5 feet above your head. Feel and sense your entire body encased in the 12th dimensional platinum white light. Allow every cell and every pore of your body to be radiating in the platinum white light. As you focus again in that position, 12 inches beneath your feet, visualize your six-pointed Merkaba star. Now draw your Merkaba star up through the center column of your body, letting it pass through your chakra column and releasing out of the top of your head. Send your star to a position 3.5 feet above your head. As your Merkaba star again begins to spin, see it create a shield at the top of your 12th dimensional pillar of light. Feel yourself fully encased from top to bottom in your 12th dimensional platinum shield. Now multidimensionally ground your shield by focusing on your six-pointed star at the position 3.5 feet above your head. You now are going to send your Merkaba star out towards the cosmic heart of our universe, towards Andromeda. As you connect to the core of the universe, allow the crystal star to emanate its connection to you. As you feel protected and supported in your 12th dimensional pillar of light, say within your heart, "Thank you, God, and thank you, Ascension Guides. I am unity." And so it is.
Powerful. Ai kana boko tare shi na tokuwa ne na kuwa de chi shi na takuwa te mo te chi na.
Wow.
Wow.
I gotta turn the lights down a little bit.
And here we are again. He's got the blue lights. I got the blue headband. I got blue sweatpants on. I'm just saying, it's a version of blue. You could say it's kind of purplish blue. Right. So the next question. The questioner says, I'm interested as to how the first distortion applies to the negatively polarized entity misplacing the mind-body-spirit complex. Why is the negatively polarized entity followed by the place of negative time-space? Why would one of us freely follow the entity? I am wrong. The positive polarity sees love in all things. The negative polarity is clever. I'm pausing there because that's all Ross said. I'm going to read that again. The positive polarity sees love in all things. The negative polarity is clever. It sees service to self. It doesn't necessarily see love. It sees service to self. It's clever. Why would someone follow that? Well, we go back to not knowing the energy of your free will, the power of your mind-body complex, not knowing that you are God in human form, that you are the creator. That negative polarity is hoping that you haven't recalled that yet. Because if you haven't, you're going to follow them. You're going to think what they're saying is true. It's going to become, it's been your thought. It's been your belief. Your belief turns into a truth, and you follow that truth as long as it serves you. Service to self. The moment that changes, the moment you have an awakening or a recall, then that negative polarity will recoil a little to find out how much you know, how much you think you know, in order to decide how to move next. It's clever in its polarity. It will even decide, I don't want to stay here with this person. She's learning too much. He's learning too much. It'll move on. It's not bound by you. It's just playing. Right? The questioner says, then I'm assuming if the negative polarity used any other approach that did not use the free will of the other self, he would lose polarization and magical power. Is this correct? Ross says, this is correct. The transferred energy grows low. We wish to close. Are there any short queries before we leave this instrument? So the instrument is getting weak and tired, and Ra is acknowledging that who they're channeling through needs to rest, relax, restore, reset, so they can do this again. And they close this session. They close it with saying, and the divine wants me to make sure I say this: you are conscientious. We realize your necessity for these queries. All is well, my friends. We thank you and we leave you in love and in light of the one infinite creator. Go forth, therefore, rejoicing in the power and in the peace of the one infinite creator, Adonai. The divine is always with you. In all the polarity, the upper polarities and the lower polarities. In all the wrongs, in all the rights that you think you do. The divine is always with you. There is not a moment that the divine is not with you. The one true creator is you. How can it not be with you? So they begin session 69. And the divine wants you to know about the number 6 and 9. All right? Go look that up in numerology. Session 69, August 29th, 1981. How many 9s are in there? The divine wants you to go look that up. The questioner says, a question which I didn't get to ask at the previous session and which I will be forced to ask at this time. Wow, how he put that. I'll be forced to ask this at this time. Is the trance state the only state in which a body, mind, spirit, positive entity may be lured by a negative entity or adept to negative time-space configurations? Ra says, I am Ra. This is misperceived concept. The mind-body-spirit complex, which freely leaves the third density physical complex, is vulnerable when the appropriate protection is not at hand. You may perceive carefully that very few entities which choose to leave their physical complexes are doing work of such a nature as to attract the polarized attention of negatively oriented entities. The danger to most in trance state, as you termed it, the physical complex being left, is the touching of the physical complex in such a manner as to attract, hold on, want to make sure my pages are, as to attract the mind-body-spirit complex back thereunto, or to do damage by the means which you would call ectoplasm is being recalled. This is what Ra keeps saying. If you play in places where you don't know all you need to know, then you're going to attract some entities, and they're going to play the way they play because they know energy better than you know it. 12,000 years is a long time, and they've been around a lot longer than that. That's just 12,000 years when Ra walked Earth consciousness or her body. But Ra has been around a long time. You want to, tap into, traversing the universe when you go to sleep. You better know how to do it. You better know all that you need to know about your energy and the energy of those that you go out to play with. They can only play with you if you give them permission, and they know this. Over to you, Marcus. You had a picture up, a chart up. Let us see that.
Yes, yes. So we wanted to learn about the significance of number 6 and the number 9. So I went ahead and did our due diligence, and we're going to start with the number 6. And number 6 represents unconditional love and compassion. It embodies the heart and represents a powerful force of empathy and healing, balance and responsibility. The number symbolizes nurturing instincts and focuses on creating harmony and stability, especially in relationships. Beauty and harmony, often referred to as the love number, signifies beauty and the importance of love in life. Influence on personality. Those influenced by number 6 are often seen as harmonious, loving, and unified individuals. Parenting and responsibility. It is linked to the qualities of responsibility and the nurturing aspect of parenting. So then we'll go into the number 9 in numerology. Copilot has for us the number 9. It signifies the meaning of completion, the end of a cycle, the culmination of experiences, universal love. It embodies the theme of humanitarianism and selflessness, wisdom and spiritual enlightenment. Number 9 is associated with deep emotional understanding and spiritual awakening. Karma. It reflects a broader perspective on life and the consequences of actions. Then lastly, we have cyclical nature. The energy of 9 signifies the potential for new beginnings following the completion of a cycle. And that is some of the knowledge that we have in our universe, so to say, that is available about the number 6 and the number 9 in numerology.
Wow. This is why the divine wanted you to know about it. This is why the divine pointed it out to me, that you need to go check it out. Now, he's checked it out on that particular site. You can go there too. You don't have to just take his word for it. Go there and check it out. Access the information.
Mm-hmm.
Do your due diligence for yourself. Right? If you don't believe what Ra is saying, go find hold on. Whoa, that picture just, whoa.
What was that?
What was that? Okay. we go release that energy with 10845, 10845, 10845. We go just release it. Let it go. It got to go back to the universe. It knows it's got no power here. Right? That was right? It wasn't an earthquake either, guys. So I'm just saying. But your due diligence is about you checking out what's being given to you as information shared with you. Because what works for myself might not work for Marcus. What works for Marcus might not work for me. But I'm going to try it on for size, see if it works. If it doesn't work, there's another version of it that maybe I'll be able to tweak. But I might have to do some research. You want to experiment and play with astral planes and whatnot. I'm just saying you need to know what you're doing, because that's energy. You're diving into energy, not knowing where it can take you or what's there waiting for you. And I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying do your due diligence and learn about what you need to do and how you need to do it, with what gifts that you have and how you need to manifest the energy for you, not because someone else did it. That's all Ra is saying. Ra is saying you go out and play, something's going to come back and play with you. You go out looking for negative polarity energy. Negative polarity energy is going to find you. It's energy. It's seeking itself. This is third density. Third density is a mirror. It's showing you it's showing you what you put out energetically, karmically, and it'll keep showing it to you until you change it. Until you change how you play. Or if you're not playing, how you grind. Or if you're not grinding, how you're accessing other people and what they're doing and doing it because they're doing it. It must be right. You don't know what's going on behind their closed doors. You don't know if it's really truly working for them. You don't know about their growth and expansion. You don't know about how they evolved. You have to test it for yourself. That's all Ra is saying. You want to play. No. First of all, know what entities you're playing with. Regardless of you calling them angels or you're calling them whatnot, find out how they're showing up for you, because they will show up exactly how you want them to show up. If you want them to be demonic, that's exactly how they're going to show up. If that's what you believe in, that's how they're going to show up. That's all Ra is saying. This is third density. You've got that's why this density was chosen to play in, because you have an infinite amount of vibration to play, to choose, to have stories and to have journeys. There's a plethora of energy here to dive into, to dive so deep into. You think the ocean is deep. So the questioner says, then you're saying that the protective friends, we will call them, would be available in every condition except for what we call the trance state, which seems to be anomalistic with respect to the others. Is this correct? And I love this. 3 words. This is correct. The questioner says, why is this trance state, as we call it, different? Why are there no entities available in this particular state? I am Ra. The uniqueness of the situation is not the lack of friends for this, as all entities has its guides and angelic presences, and due to polarization, teachers and friends also. The unique characteristic of the working which the social memory complex Ra and your group have begun is the intent to serve others with the highest attempt at near purity, which we as comrades may achieve. Ra is saying, I came here to serve. That's the highest thing that I can do, that we can do. This has alerted a much more determined friend of negative polarity, which is interested in removing the particular opportunity. You got to know your shadow in order to know your light. So yes, there are entities that came to play in the negative polarity, and they're just waiting for the opportunity. And they're on alert. They're on high alert. we may say once again 2 notes. Firstly, we search long to find an appropriate channel and instrument and an appropriate support group. So they searched long and hard for this channel, for this person, this woman, and her support group, for this questioner and the person that's doing the journaling. So we'll go again. Firstly, we search long to find an appropriate channel or instrument and an appropriate support group. If this opportunity is ended, we shall be grateful for what that has done. But the possibility or probability vortexes indicating the location of this configuration again is slight. It might not happen for another 12,000 years. Secondly, we thank you, for we know what you sacrifice in order to do that which you do as a group that wishes to do this, because they want to serve. Ross says, we will not deplete this instrument insofar as we are able. We have attempted to speak of how the instrument may deplete itself, though through too great a dedication of working. The instrument wants to keep serving, but she's not listening to her body. She wants to serve, but her body is saying, oh, you got to take a break. We need a moment. Right? She does not want to be, she does not want to not serve. Ross says, we are thankful. In the present situation, we express thanks to the entities who call themselves Latwii, Latwii. Latwii. The questioner says, do I understand then that death, whether it is by natural means or accidental means or suicide, that all deaths of this type would create the same after death conditions that would avail the entity to its protection from friends? Is this correct? Ross says, we presume you mean to inquire whether in death experience, no matter what the cause, the negative friends are not able to remove an entity. This is correct, largely because the entity without the attachment to the space-time physical complex is far more aware, and without the gullibility, which is somewhat the hallmark of those who love wholeheartedly. Ross says, however, the death, if natural, would undoubtedly be more harmonious, the death by murder being confused, and the entity needing some time, space in which to get its bearings, so to speak. The death by suicide causing the necessity for much healing work, and shall we say, the making of the dedication to the third density for the renewed opportunity of learning the lessons set by the higher self. Right? So I just got information because I've always wondered about in Catholicism, they believe that there's a place between going to heaven and going to hell. There's a waiting station, right? And they're always believed that if you commit suicide, you'll never see the face of God. you'll automatically go to hell, or you'll be in this waiting station, right? I think it's called something that starts with a P. I can't remember the title, but I learned about it when I went to a Catholic church with my aunt, and I was learning about that. And it always struck me as funny is, why don't we if we're these free will beings, why do we, and we're making all these choices, why would we be punished for making a choice that wasn't for our highest and greatest good?
You're talking about purgatory?
Purgatory, yes. I know it just started with the P, right? So all that Ra is saying is that when it's when the physical body takes its own life, it confuses the soul. It's not a negative or a positive. It brings confusion. And possibly when that soul goes, decides, did I learn what I needed to learn, or was it preempted? Was this physical life taken before I could learn what I learned? And the soul has to say, oh, I got to do it again. Or it gets to decide, well, I don't want to go back to do any of that. Your higher being does have a choice. It gets to say, well, you know what? I'm going to climb the polarities back to merge with the divine. I get to go to the 7th. I'll just go ahead, go to the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and merge back with the divine. Then I'll decide if I do it again. It just gets, kind of, oh, wow. I didn't get to do what because the physical body was in so much pain. So distorted. It took its own life. Or its life was taken by somebody, by an impromptu person shooting them, or an impromptu car crash that, wasn't, it wasn't an expectation of, this is how I'm going to learn a lesson. Maybe the soul will learn the lesson. Oh, that's what death feels like. That's all Ra is saying. These are the different distortions that one could take, but it's not about it being negative. It's not about the negative entity taking over. It can certainly play, but you give this negative entity more glory than it should get. That's all. Anyway, over to you, Marcus. Whew.
Wowee. That's some good stuff. Purgatory. Wow, I haven't heard purgatory get brought up in a long while. Purgatory. It's interesting that you bring that up, because I did an episode the other day about the Galactic Karmic Board. And the Galactic Karmic Board is basically a group of ascended masters, so to say, of different dimensions, and they uphold the law of one. And basically the karmic board is in place to carry the law of one to help with the transition process between the incarnations of the soul. So with that, they basically have, the balance, the scale of your karmic energy when you leave your body. And that karmic energy, if you go back to any of the teachings that Sandy has talked about in this series, as well as and for other series like the Soul Awakening podcast, as well as any of my series as well, we've talked about what karma is from the ancient Tibetan perspective, as well as Hindu and Chinese philosophies. And from karma, it's basically just the effects of the actions you take, or the consequences to the causes that you put out through your mind, body, emotion complex. And it's just vibration and energy, pretty much. And you experience what it is that you put out because you're the instrument of that energy. So with that, we learn about what karma is and the free will that we have with the karmic energy. And then with the karmic board, they say that souls go in front of the karmic board after and before incarnations in order to go through the details that they need to in order to orchestrate and put together their incarnation process. And it's pretty fascinating stuff if you're open to it and it's something that you like to explore. You can always look into it. Go to ascensionglossary.com and you can look into the karmic board, or you can go to YouTube as well. And you can also watch the episode on my YouTube channel, Sacred Light Broadcast Network, Grand Rising with Christolight series. So with that being said, I'd like to take a moment and bring some awareness to you guys that Sandy and myself are a part of a community. And this community is a international, worldwide community with beautiful souls all over the world, many different states, as well as different countries that have came together to share their gifts, their passions, their creativity, as well as their products and other wonderful connective things that they want to share for the public world. And with that, our community has podcast series, and we also create online events for full moon and new moon. We also have a wider range of holistic services that you can book and take a look at through our link page. And then you can also check out various productions as well as content and podcasts from people like myself and Sandy, and then crystals from Lunar Queen and organic home products from Jade. So with that, I just want to take a moment and I want to allow you guys to take a sneak peek and take a look into the new promo. Hey, what's going on? Marcus Christolight here, founder and member of the Sacred Kingdom community. I am so excited to share with you guys the directory and some insight into the beautiful members that we have a part of the council of the Sacred Kingdom community, a international, worldwide, sacred community of soul family, full of star seeds, visionaries, artists, practitioners, shamans, as well as handcrafters and organic product makers. We have such a beautiful variety of amazing quality of organic products, including crystals as well, holistic and quantum healing services, all available in one link page directory for you. And you guys may be able to find who resonates for you, either locally in your area or online through the Sacred Kingdom community. So take a look. Welcome to the Sacred Kingdom community link page, where you guys can access everything Sacred Kingdom that's available worldwide 24/7. First link you'll see is the Facebook page, and you'll be able to take a browse and follow, keep up with any activity through Facebook if you're a Facebook user. Then we have the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is designed with playlists for each member that is a part of the YouTube channel, so you can access and see content specific to each individual. Now we have holistic healing retreats that are led by myself, Marcus Christolight, of Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. And then we have other members of the community that join in with these retreats to help build and bring connective community. These holistic retreats have workshops, live music, plant-based food, and much more. Then we have Lunar Queen and Organics Essence. This is an online crystal shop. She has a wide variety of crystals, greatly priced, high quality, organic with no dyes. Along with that, she also does card readings, and you can book with her. Then we have Eagle's Hearth Ministry and Sacraments, Grandma Katie Sing Eagle, with her tinctures, salves, lotions, herbal products, and much more. Jade's Wellness Trade. Jade's Wellness Trade is a fully organic line, all plant and herbal based when it comes to home hygiene products such as soaps, shampoos, conditioners, and much more. Operation Oscar Mike. Wow. Where to begin? Good fellow of mine, AJ Lardy, his friends Scott and Eric own a alternative healing nonprofit business to help military and first responders to bridge with alternative healing. Sacred Light Healing and Wellness, myself, Marcus Christolight, Reiki, Akashic meditations, as well as inner child healing, shadow work, and more. And then we have Shining Soul Healing and Wellness, QHHT, quantum hypnosis, as well as herbal-based healing products with Sarah Broadhead. Soul Awakening with Sandra Marshall out of California, a wonderful podcaster, as well as lecturer and educator. And then we have Soulista Healing with Christina out of Pennsylvania. You guys can check out our link page anytime. And you guys can browse and book with services, purchase crystals and organic products. Along with that, we also do host retreats together and other events. We have online spaces like full moon and new moon events, and much more to come. Tune into our podcast on the YouTube channel, Sacred Kingdom. Reach out if you'd like to become a member and grow with this community as we continue to bring generational wealth and healing to all generations of planet Earth. One love. One love.
Yes.
One heart. Let's get together and feel alright.
Let's get together and feel all right. Right? It's one love. It's the law of one. In the first book, that's what Ra says. The law of one and the law of love, they're one. This is the divine. This is everything and nothing at all at the same time. That's the divine. You're a walking consciousness of the divine. You're the divine seeking itself, saying, I've created all of this. Now I get to walk amongst it. I get to wake up with it. I get to go to sleep with it. I get to play. And everything that I created gets to come play with me. The invitation went out. Draconians came, reptilians came, Orions came. Everybody came to play. And Earth Consciousness said, well, we got to give them free will. And no matter how much the energy pulled her down, she said she just kept calling for energy healers to come help raise her energy so that she could shift and evolve, because that's what she wanted to do. She said, let them play. Keep the free will in motion. They'll get it. They'll figure it out. We'll keep sending in the cavalry. And here Ra comes. Here comes other channelers. Bashar. Here they come. Here comes other ministers and yogis and energy healers. Here they come. They answer the call. They may have to have come through a physical form, but they came. Just go read. Go pick up all the books. There's even I have a book behind me where it was a gentleman who was doing hypnosis just like Diane Cannon did as well, but he got so deep that he could do hypnosis to the point where he could talk to the souls, and they would show them how they move through each incarnation, and what they thought and how they felt. The infinite is showing itself to us. Revealing itself to us. How else can the infinite reveal if it doesn't channel? If it doesn't go inward? If it doesn't allow you to take a breath in, go inward, and then release the breath to make that manifestation occur. Or you find out that, that manifestation, if that had manifested, right? You get to go within. You get to have a conversation with your higher being. You get to have this opening up to all your gifts and talents that are there for you. And you get to sift and sort through them to see which one is actually going to work for you at this particular time, in this particular situation or circumstance, or with this particular conversation. Ra, this isn't the only channeling that Ra did. Ra is constantly channeling. This got 5 books written, but Ra didn't stop there. Jesus consciousness has been in many forms. Just because Jesus didn't come back the way, or Yahshua didn't come back the way you expected him to look, doesn't mean he, she, it that is Yahshua wasn't channeling, wasn't teaching. The consciousness didn't show up. It did. You probably didn't know it was Yahshua, but that's all right. Yahshua will be back again with more consciousness, more growth, more expansion. Ra will be back again to channel more consciousness, more expansion, more growth. Bashar is still sharing. Your higher being, when your higher being is talking to you, that's a channel as well. Growth and expansion, baby. It never stops. It may look different for every human being on this planet. Of course it is. We're all uniquely authentic in our own way. And the divine is seeing itself in all, well, close to 9 billion of us. And it's saying, and it is good. it is good. Even in those that are playing in the negative polarity field, it is good. I'm seeing myself as that individual. Doesn't mean that it's good that they're being, a hard ass to someone. It means that they're having a story. And the divine is not judging it. But we were given the polarities of right and wrong to decide where we want to go and where we want to play and how hard we want to play, or if we want to play at all. And Ra is here to give you that information as well. Bashar is here to give you that information. There are many entities that are here channeling to bring you good news. Or news, just plain news. You decide what is good or bad, happy or sad. Over to you, Marcus.
One more.
You keep cutting out. One more. Oh, you want me to read one more question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. One more question. Here we go. One more question. The questioner says, is this also true of unconscious conditions due to accidents? Ooh, I love it. Or medical anesthetic or drugs? I am Ra. Given that the entity is not attempting to be of service in this particular way, which is proceeding now, the entity of negative orientation would not find it possible to remove the body, mind, spirit. That unique characteristic, as we have said, which is, shall we say, dangerous to the willing of the mind, body, spirit complex outward from the physical complex of third density for the purpose of service to others. In any other situation, the circumstance would not be in effect. It still brings it back to the mind body complex that is their intention is to serve others, but they have a dual thought about service to others and if they're doing it right, or if it feels right, or if people are trying to keep them from doing it and causing the body distress. Sometimes we want to serve. I know I do. And then I have people that, say, what are you doing? Why are you talking that stuff? That's, and if I let it get to me, it can be distracting. But what I've done is I've gone, well, you do you and I'll do me. It's okay if you believe it that way. And it's okay if I believe it this way. But when you're in trance and you go into a trance with wanting to serve, but not knowing if you're good enough to serve or you're strong enough to serve, it will give an opening. That's all Ra is saying. And third density is a dense portal that allows for the polarities. It has to. If you see light, there has to be dark. If you see dark, there's going to be light. If you're dealing with your shadows, it's so that light can be shown on it or shined on it. If you think it's a negative, then it will be negative for you. If you think that your shadow is evil, or if you think that it's a burden, then that's what your shadow will be. And it will always be in your way. But that's not because life said that's the way you're going to get it. Life is happening because of you. The negative entities that move through this playground of ours, they were invited here to play. They just chose the negative polarity. Because guess what? Higher beings had free will as well. You think that human beings only got that? Your higher being had the free will to choose what body it wanted to come in, what form it wanted to come in, what it put into your DNA, what it wanted to learn. As it's like having a notepad on your phone. It wrote itself little notes so that it could recall why it came to play. And recall that it gets to play in both polarities. It gets to choose. It gets to choose how far up the polarities it wants to play in. And it gets to decide, oh, well, I'm at 5th density. I can play a little bit in the 6th density consciousness, but I don't want to merge back right now. It can turn around and go back to Earth school. It can make 2 decisions. Either it's going to take on another form body, or it's going to decide, well, I want to play in the negative polarity, but I don't want to do it in a body. I want to do it as circumstances. I want to do it as situations. I want to do it being what each individual wants to see or to feel. It's going to be your angel or your devil. It's going to play there. And it's hoping that you don't know about energy like it knows. That's all Ra is saying. It can't play with you unless you allow it to play. That's why when somebody says that they're sending you a curse, they're putting a curse on you, that curse has no power unless you fear it. That's your protection. Your free will is your protection. That's all Ra is saying. And Ra is telling the questioner that the reason why the entity being channeled is protected is because of the friends that it chose to be part of the discussion with Ra. The questioner itself, the person that's taking the notes, how all these books got written, the group that's taking the time to place the being in the proper place, to put the water there, to put the candles there, to have it in a perfect format to be channeled through. This is what Ra is saying. You love her so much that you want to make sure everything is perfect, and you do it. It's not on them, it's on the the being, the human being in wanting to serve and not being also at the point where other people are saying, you're doing this? Really? She's having two different thoughts at the same time. One positive, one negative. And all Ra is saying is, which one is she thinking about most? That's how negative entities get in and play. That's all. You say, Sandy, can it be easy as that? Yeah, as simple as that. You have free will. You can say, hell to the no. You can't play here. This is sovereign. You ain't got no power here. Back up. That's all Ra is saying. You're a sovereign spiritual being with a physical body and a conscious and aware mind. You can tell, I know how energy works. I may not know how it works in its entirety, but I know you ain't got no power over me here. Get the HE double toothpicks out of here. Bye. See ya. Not gonna be ya. That's all Ra is saying. I'm just saying. You know, it's like you can say no, go play somewhere else. This is my playground area, my rules. You don't want to abide by the rules. You gotta go. Bye. I'm just saying. Now I understand why he said read one more question. Right? Woo. Woo. I love Ra.
Man.
Woo.
I tell you what, Sandy. Wait a minute. Who's that? Is that somebody dialing in?
Are you familiar at all with the raw materials that were channeled in?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
So when it said, know yourself, accept
Yes.
yourself, and
Yes.
be the creator.
Yes.
Would you agree with all those?
Yes.
Anything you would expand upon on those?
Well, the expansion is all the ideas that we have been sharing with you for years about different ways in which you can allow yourself to know yourself. Yes?
Yes.
That's the bottom line, really. Know yourself.
And be the creator?
Well, you are the creator.
But to come from...
When you know yourself, you will know you are the creator.
Okay. And they talk also about wanderers.
Yes, there are wanderers.
Can you say any more about that?
The idea of beings that may choose to have incarnations that are wanderers are those beings that are, in your terms, rather loosely connected to physical reality. So sometimes you will see that there are people on your planet who don't quite feel grounded or anchored to your physical reality. They navigate through it, but it seems that physical life is foreign to them to some degree. This is not always, but usually a symptom of a wanderer who connects themselves to many different civilizations, explores many different things, and never really grounds or anchors themselves in a permanent way to any one culture. Therefore, they touch base, they see what's going on. It's kind of, well, I'll use your terminology, someone hopping from party to party, who never really settles down to any one party. Do you understand?
Yes. And so do they each come with different specific purposes on
Of
why
course.
they wander?
Of course.
Okay. Okay.
Does that help you?
Yes.
All right, then wander off. Then.
Thank you so much.
All right, then, wander off. I love that. I love that.
Good old Bashar.
Good. Yes. Yes. I mean, you know, we're here for in a blink of an eye, in the blink of the Creator's eye. We're meant to enjoy this whole process, the good and the bad, the happy and the sad. We're meant to mix it up. We're meant to, you know, put our hands deep in the clay and then make something. We're meant to get our hands dirty. We're meant to enjoy. We're meant to cry. We're meant to laugh. We're meant to be sticklers for things. We're meant to be triggered. We're meant to be all of this, so we can grow and expand and evolve. Why? Because our higher being and our ego gets to learn from that. And they get to go, what? What, Sandy? What did you just teach me? What? I get to let my higher being blow my mind. And my ego go, well, that blew my mind. And then wash, rinse, and repeat. It doesn't mean that you're doing, maybe you've learned one thing, but now you're going to go into a different area of your life, and your higher being is going to say, I'm going to blow your mind here. Are you ready? On your mark, get set, go. And you go, holy shit. I know I do. I do that a lot. I go, holy shit. And my ego goes, what? And I get to listen to my higher mind and my ego have a conversation. I'm a fly on that fucking wall. And they're blowing me away. My ego is saying, no, but Sandy needs to do this and this. And my higher being is saying, little one. I love when my higher being calls my ego little one. Little one, hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Right?
Little
I'm just saying.
one.
And my ego kind of takes a moment and goes, okay. All right, we got that. And then we go back. You listen to Ra, and you listen to Bashir, and you listen to all these other channelers, man, and you're learning so much. You're finding out about more information about the Bible that you didn't know, about things that they took out and things that they put in, and you're finding out about your growth and your expansion. You're finding out that the entities that call themselves the governments and big pharma and all of these higher, they have higher beings as well. They're not without a soul or a higher being. They didn't come into this plane without. They absolutely have it. Their higher beings chose to play in the lower polarities. And they chose to play on that playground. And the divine is letting them play on that playground because the divine is seeking itself even through them. And not judging them. They get that the karma is doing that, or it's not in judgment, but the karma keeps coming back around and mirroring to them that this is happening. They're subject to cause and effect just like everyone else. But guess what? If you spend a lot of time in their cause and effect, you're going to miss out on your now moments. That's all Ra is saying. Your now moments, you living. If your life is dependent on someone else, that other entities, then you're going to have the life that, if you're saying, well, they're taking this away from me, I'll never have, then the universe says your wish is my command. That's all Ra is saying. Know thyself. Tap into thyself. Go inward. Find out what ask yourself, well, if that's showing up, what does this mean for me? What does this mean for me and how in my growth and my expansion? Deal with your own karmic mirrors. Find out where your dharmic door is opening up, where that yellow brick road is dropping when you walk on it. You're creating those yellow bricks. It's not follow the yellow brick road. It's create the yellow brick road as you're going. That's growth. That's expansion. Every beautiful being that was born into this experience is experiencing life. It is life. Marcus is life. I'm life. I'm a version of life. Marcus is a version of life. You're a version of life. And life is saying, more? And you get to say, yes, more, please. Like the little kid in the movie when he walked up and he says, more, please, more porridge, please. He dared to ask for more porridge. And what I can't exactly remember the show, the movie. It's a classic, but he's in a orphanage and he wanted more food, and he dared to walk up to the headmaster and ask for more. Be daring like that. What do you want more of? The universe is looking at you. The universe is listening to you. It's waiting for you to give it some direction. What do you want? Growth and expansion, man. You're here to grow. You're here to expand. You're here to learn. You're here to become. And then once you become, you get to become again. How many books are you going to write? How many stories are you going to write in your story? It doesn't have to be one long big book. You can close it after a chapter of 10 years. Close that book and start a new one. That's all Ra is saying. Know your energy. Know thyself. Know how powerful you are. Because the entities that came to play along with you, they know. The reptilians, they know. They know how to create energy or with energy, and they know how to manipulate it. They know how to manipulate you. So if you want to go play with them, you better know thyself. You want to go play with the Orions, you better know thyself. You want to give the Orions some power, you better know thyself. What power are you giving them? That's all Ra is saying. With that, I do have to go. I would like to stay, because the divine is just saying, ooh, Sandy, you're going down a rabbit hole.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. But with that, we'll see you next Wednesday. Same raw time, same raw channel.
Thank you, Sandy, for another wonderful episode, sharing this wonderful space. Thank you, everybody that tuned in, either on this live or in the replay. And wow, what a episode.